All right, let us say hello to the newest member of the UFC's flyweight division, coming off a submission win over a very game opponent in Mitch Raposo. It was a little dramatic, but he made Dana White break all of his rules, and he still got a contract despite a lot of things that happened throughout the week, apparently. But Jake Hadley joins us. Very excited for you, man. Congratulations on the UFC contract. Welcome to the UFC. How does that all sound right now?
That sounds amazing, and thanks for having me on the show as well, by the way. I feel amazing.
Yeah, it's been, as we record, a little less than a week since it all went down. Has it sunk in yet? I mean, you've been dreaming of this for a long time, and now that you can actually say, I am a UFC fighter, how does it all feel?
Well, I knew this was eventually going to happen, but what makes it more special is under the circumstances how it happened, being the first fighter to miss weight to get to the UFC through Contenders. I'm not trying to speak like that's an accomplishment or something, because obviously I don't want to be missing weight. But, the things what have happened has made this even more of a bigger thing, you know what I mean? But obviously I knew that one day I'd be in the UFC. But, it's an amazing feeling to prove a lot of people wrong and prove a lot of people right, you know what I'm saying? So, it's a big moment of my life, in my life right now.
I talked to Mitch before the fight, and one of the things that I noticed right away when the fight was announced was there was a lot of buzz around it. Like the matchup itself between you and Mitch, people were excited about it. They were ready to see it. It felt like two of the best unsigned 25ers in the world were getting ready to fight, and we're going to get it on ESPN Plus for free. Were you starting to feel that buzz too? Did you see the reaction to the matchup on social media and seeing all the hype behind it?
Yeah, well, I feel like there was a lot of hype behind me being on Contender Series in the first place, because obviously, as you know, I'm a two-promotion world champion, being with the Cage Warriors and EFC, which is big promotions. I've got a lot of big wins behind me, former Ultimate Fighter guys. I've fought on Bellator as well. I already deserve the UFC contract. I'm the number one guy in Europe. As far as Mitch goes, Mitch is, a bright talent. I've heard myself even here in the UK, whichever talent is, other fighters speaking very highly of him and stuff. He had that performance on The Ultimate Fighter where he was the number one seed. He was the number one pick, but he didn't perform it the way he thought he was going to. I believe that's because he's too small for bantamweight. Yeah, but, there was a lot of hype behind the fight. I was kind of shocked that it weren't main event.
Me too.
I was shocked that it weren't main event, especially considering the main event, no disrespect to them, but one was 5-0, the other one was 5-1, but I hadn't beat anyone. They'd beat nobody. And, with my record, my last 4 or 5 years have been top-level opponents. Obviously, Mitch is a former Ultimate Fighter, so I thought it'd be a bit higher up on the card.
Yeah, it was one of the fights I was looking forward to the most for the season, no doubt about it. Kind of going back to fight week and all that and the weight cut. Would you say that was the hardest weight cut of your career? What would you say happened, leading into stepping on the scale and missing weight and not being able to hit the mark?
Yeah, well, it was definitely the hardest weight cut of my career. Obviously, I don't want to be giving no excuses about why I missed weight or whatever like that. No one wants to hear any shit like that, you know what I mean? No one cares. All they care about is that you missed the weight. But obviously I was meant to fight on Contenders in the 21st of September. I was told outright by my manager that I would not be fighting on Contenders, so don't get your hopes up. So I was completely out of camp for a good three plus weeks. I was still training twice a day, 6 days a week, but obviously it got a bit heavier. I've come over to the US. My weight was going on track. It was going down, and I was going well. I was right on track with my other camps because I keep log. But then I just all of a sudden stopped sweating, and I stopped going to the toilet and stuff like. So I already knew I was in trouble then, because obviously I was water loading and stuff, and I weren't going to the toilet. So obviously I'd eaten something or drank something what was holding on to my water weight. and I couldn't get it off. So I was doing extra training sessions with plastics on and stuff like that, trying to sweat. And I weren't sweating and stuff, so I knew I was in trouble. So I started cutting weight early, which I would never cut weight that early. I started cutting weight the night before, and I didn't sleep all night, and I cut weight all night, all through to the next day. And I would have made the weight, but I just ran out of time. So I thought, all right, then let me miss the weight the first attempt, and I'll go back and cut the weight again because I had enough time to make it. But then someone told me to wait. They said, wait over here for a minute, Jake. So I was waiting there 20 minutes. I'm like, what's happening, man? Why ain't they come? So then, we're waiting there. And then my coach goes and asks someone else. And they says, why are you waiting there for? Go cut your weight. So it ended up just being a bit of a mess up, you know what I mean? But I don't want to, think about that too much now. It's the first time I've ever missed weight. I fought all my amateur fights at flyweight, all my pro fights at flyweight. It's just one of them things. Now everyone's saying, oh, this guy can't make weight, blah, blah, blah. But I can, but, it's just one of them things that's happening.
I definitely don't want to harp on this too much. We'll talk about the fight and what this all means in a minute, but you said something interesting there. So I just wanted to follow up. You said that you were kind of put off to the side for 20 minutes before your coach came over and said that you could continue with your weight cut because you had, I believe, another hour to try to make it. You felt like you could make it. Dana had said, and I'm sure you heard this, obviously, because he mentioned it before he gave you the contract, that there were some issues between you and the UFC staff. Did it have to do with that? Was it because they put you to the side? You had no idea what was going on, and then you didn't have the appropriate time to actually cut?
No, that wasn't the problem with the UFC staff. I was told after the fight by my management, and one of the situations, one of the problems, also Diana told me about it. To be honest, when he told me and my management told me, I was in total and utter shock. Why the reasons was. No, I don't know. I don't know if I can come out and talk about it or whatever. I don't really want to upset no one else, to be honest. So I don't know if I should come out and talk about it. But put it this way, 100%. I didn't mean the way people have took it. Like, basically it's just like little situations where, I don't know if I can talk about it or even if I should talk about it, because obviously I don't want to get into any more problems with anyone. But trust me when I say, like, I didn't mean to upset anyone, but, that's not my way. I want to upset fighters, yeah. I want to upset fighters, but I don't want to upset general population. I don't, especially staff who work for a company, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to upset staff who work. That ain't my game. I want to upset fighters and get on their nerves and make them think, oh, this and that about me. But for a civilian who works at a place, I don't want to upset no one.
Would you say it was just a misunderstanding more than anything?
Total misunderstanding.
Okay, fair enough. So after the whole weight miss and the mishap and everything, did you feel like your UFC contract was slipping away, considering what Dana's stance is and the company's stance is on Contender Series fighters missing weight? It hadn't been done before. Did you feel like, listen, even if I go out there and put this guy away, I'm going to get there eventually, but maybe it's just not going to be now?
Yeah, well, I expected not to get signed. But when I signed the dotted line for the Contender Series in the first place, I expected a contract, but, also I'm coming to win. No. First and foremost, I'm coming to win. Now, I fight entertaining. I come forward. I put pressure on people. I beat people up. You know what I mean? I come entertaining. But if I have to be boring to win a fight, I will. Winners win. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I thought, well, and the way Mitch fights, no offense to Mitch, but Mitch does fight a little boring. He runs around a lot. In some fights before he was on the Ultimate Fighter, he just stood in front of the guy and just did enough to win. You know what I mean? So, he's a boring fighter. So, I made the fight entertaining. by coming at him and coming after him, which I do to everyone. But my point being, no, I didn't expect to get signed. I was thinking to myself, I'm going to go out there and smash this geezer in, but I probably won't get signed. But I knew my performance after I'd won the fight. I knew it was a good performance, as in, I've just ran through this kid, who's good. I knew it was a good performance, but what I expected was maybe another contenders opportunity or, something like that, which, I would have done, you know what I mean? But, I'm just over the moon. I got the contract. Dana sees what I knows there. I'm a special fighter, you know what I'm saying? Just like he said.
Yeah, Dana kind of spoke for a lot of people, I think, because those who have been watching your career knew that you probably didn't even need the Contender Series to get a UFC opportunity. You were probably ready. Were you surprised that you even get a Contender Series opportunity at this point? Like, I thought you were just going to bypass the system, maybe get another win, maybe two, and then you were just going to get signed outright. Were you surprised that when a contract came, it was for the Contender Series and not just an outright UFC fight?
Yeah, well, I was definitely surprised when I first got the contract for the Contender Series. We weighed it up and we was like, all right, then the Contender Series is better than any other option we've got. So we took the Contender Series. And I don't know if many people know this, but originally Contender Series was meant to be in July. And I turned fights down on Cage Warriors to fight in July. And then that got pushed back till September. Yeah. And then my visa fell through and then that got pushed back to October, So, what am I saying? So basically, I forgot what I was saying, but
you basically just kind of rode the wave to October to this point because you were already preparing for a fight in July.
Yeah. So I forgot what your question was, but I've totally gone blank. But
sorry, no, I was saying, like, were you like even being offered a Contender Series fight in July? Were you surprised by that?
Yeah, basically as well. When the September fight fell through, I was totally and utterly surprised, like amazed that they offered me another contenders fight, because I thought, my fight fell through no fault of my own. I'm not saying it's anyone else's fault, but it did fall through for no fault of my own. I expected a straight contract, to be honest, but that didn't happen. They offered me the contenders, and and they offered me a good opponent. So, I've took it. That's how bad I want it. You know what I mean? That's how bad I want to be in the UFC. And be a UFC champion one day. It's just unfortunate that we've had these bit of issues here. But it is what it is.
Yeah, it makes things a lot more interesting. That's for sure. The first round between you and Mitch was pretty competitive. It was kind of split in how people scored it. Some people scored it for you. Some people scored it for Mitch, but then obviously you turned up the volume end of the first round into the second. Did anything Mitch did in that first round surprise you at all?
Nah, nothing he did surprise me one bit, really. I'll tell you what, actually, yeah. Through watching footage of him, I thought to myself when I watched his footage that, he likes to back away and he's going to be hard to set down because of the distance he keeps, and he keeps running around, hard to pin down, like. But when I watched him, I thought he ain't going to shoot a takedown on me, because he knows, just through watching footage of him and watching footage of myself, he knows he can't handle the jiu-jitsu with me. Yeah, that's what I thought. So I did think he'd try to take me down, but after I'd smacked him a few times, that's what I thought. But I hadn't really landed a lot on him before he'd even started shooting. So, but I think I tied him up pretty easily, and I almost had him out there. I had the shoulder lock on him, actually, and I messed that up myself by trying to armbar him off that shoulder lock. So, I was fighting him at his own game, trying to beat him up in his own game, really, because that's what I'd say Mitch is best at, is basically boxing, and I'd bit of wrestling here and there, you know what I mean, just to steal around. But what he's really best at, how he wins these fights, is running around on the back foot with the boxing. He's got good boxing, like. And I was fighting him in his own game, beating him in that. And when I thought to myself, all right, then, it's time to take him down there. And I took him there. I just got him out of there as quick as lightning, you know what I mean? Which shows and proves I could have just done that in the first round if I wanted to. You know what I mean? I just wanted to, test myself. I'm playing his game, stick it on him in his own game. And even if Anta took him down, it would have been a matter of time before I knocked him out anyway. So that's what I believe. But, I thought it was the right time to take him down. That's good fight IQ on my own part. Took him down, took his back, choked him out. I noticed he gives his back in his fights. I study these guys, you know what I mean? Like, I don't just, I'll turn up. I study these guys, my team studies these guys. And you can ask Forrest Griffin if you want, because he was watching my training in the PI, or anyone who was watching my training in the PI. The exact way I took his back and choked him out, I trained that all week. All week long, I trained that exact thing. And that omoplata game?
Yep.
I was drilling that as well the whole week. I promise you that. And I did it on him. So I just knew what these guys was going to do. Yeah, he did surprise me with the takedown. I thought I'd had to smack him a few times before he tried to take me down. I thought that he'd believe that he wouldn't be on my level on the ground. But, he's young and he's a bit not so clever because he's young, innit? I'm not trying to diss him, but you know what I mean? But there you go.
So you win the fight, you get the submission. You're wondering if you're feeling like you're probably not going to get the contract. You're sitting in the back. Dana's talking to Lorosenko, talking about you. Felt like it was there were some tough decisions. There were two fighters who missed weight. You were one of them, but you got the finish, and he awards you the contract. What are you thinking at this moment as he's talking? Because it seemed like he was talking for a long time. Normally in these situations, Dana's going to say, "Listen, if you can't make weight for this, how can I expect you to make weight for the UFC? We're not giving you a contract." But it seemed like he was talking a lot here. Were you starting to feel like, you know what, I might get this contract after all?
But I was kind of like thinking, he might give me a second chance on something or something like that. I was hoping. That's what I was hoping. I was hoping and praying in the back of my mind that he'd pick me up. But it was a long shot, weren't it? It was like there was more chance he weren't gonna pick me up, especially when he mentioned I've been in trouble with people as well in the back or whatever. So I thought, fuck, I ain't gonna get it this time. But I still knew my fighting skills are impressive, though. I still know this, and I still know I've achieved a lot, and I've beat a lot of top guys, and I am deserving. You know what I mean? And if you weigh up some of the things that have happened in the lead up, maybe obviously you can't take pity, but the thing is it's the one time it's ever happened. One time it's ever happened in my career, and bloody hell, it's got to be on the Contender Series, innit? It's just you look in it, you know what I mean? But like I said before, I think it was a test from God, as in, let's make everything go wrong and let's see if he can still perform. And I went out there and I still performed, and I still finished him, I still beat him. And he, and I got it, so I'm just happy as anything.
So one question I've been asked since that episode, and I don't have the answer, and I was watching live, is right after you went over to get your contract and Dana had finished talking to Lorosenko, Dana had said something to you. You guys are having a conversation on camera. Paul Felder said something to the effect of, "Oh, I heard that," but nobody else could hear what Dana was saying to you, like on the broadcast. I had no idea. And people have been asking me like crazy. What did Dana say to you after you got the contract?
Dana was just telling me about, things what have happened in the back and stuff. But he was also telling me as well how much of a special fighter he believes I am, and and I need to fix these things. And then he told me about the situation, what was happened, and this and that, and I'm just thankful to Dana White because he's gone against these matchmakers, he's gone against some people in the UFC, and he's picked me up. So I can't thank Dana White enough. You know what I mean? And the guy is such a nice guy as well. He's, so nice to me, and and I can tell he likes me. He really believes in me. So I'm happy about that. You know what I mean? And obviously I've just telling Dana, listen, that won't happen again. To be honest, I didn't know what happened until after. You know what I mean? And it's definitely a miscommunication, you know what I mean? But even if I got to keep my mouth shut the whole entire time I'm there, I'm just going to keep zipped. You know what I mean? I ain't going to say nothing because I don't want to, there you go.
Yeah, you don't want to make anybody upset. So one of the interesting questions that Dana was asked at the press conference afterwards was because he had said that Mick Maynard and Sean Shelby stormed out of the building. They basically sent him to the back to make his decision with strict details saying, do not sign this guy. And Dana went out and signed you anyways. They stormed out all angry. So one of the questions he was asked was, do you think the matchmakers will kind of put you like through a murderer's row of contenders to try to maybe get you out of there? Which I don't know if you heard Dana get that question or not, but Dana was like, I don't know, but if he does, he'll be ready for it. I think he's a really good fighter. So do you think that Sean and Mick or whoever's going to be matchmaking your fights, do you think they might kind of put you through the ringer and just see if they can get you out of there? And if so, how do you feel about that?
To be fair, I've got no problem with that. They can send whoever they want to send. They send whoever they want to send. I'll fight whoever. But also, I don't really know. I ain't going to talk about contracts and stuff like that, but I don't know. I mean, could they really send me like the number fifth guy in the world in my first fight or something like that, contractively, you know what I mean, as in like pay-wise and stuff like that. Or, to be fair, I'll fight anyone in the top 15 already, right now, no problem. But, I'm not the businessman. My manager's the businessman. He's the one who says, oh, listen, you want Jake to fight number 10? Oh, let's raise his money. You know what I mean? I don't know what they can and cannot do. All I'm saying is I'll fight anyone. But that's up to my management, who's the businessman, to sort that out, as in, oh, Jake will fight anyone, but let's add some money to that. You know what I mean? Or let's do this and let's do that. But I'm ready for anyone. I've already said, give me Little Figueiredo, who's had multiple fights in the UFC. They can fast track me if they want to, because I'll just go straight to the top quicker anyway. I don't see anyone, they're all good. Listen, they're all good. Number 10 ain't no better than number 15, and number 15 ain't no better than the unranked guy, in my opinion. I'm looking at the division, and I'm seeing unranked fighters who I think, oh, these guys are good, man. And I've seen guys in the top 10. I'm thinking, top 15. I'm thinking, I don't really think he's that good. Or some of them, I'm thinking, oh, he's good. You know what I mean? But I don't. The flyweight is such a new division now. I know it's been around a long while, but it's just only just come back in the UFC. That the division's wide open. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Brendan Royval come to the UFC. He had 2 fights. He's number fucking 3 in the world or whatever he was at one stage. You know what I mean? He had off 2 fights. So, I mean, and he was only the LFA champion, which is a big promotion. Let's not get it twisted. But, Cage Rose and LFA are probably the same level. You know what I mean? So, and I've got 2 titles. So, what's saying they ain't going to stick me in with the number 5 guy, or, they threw Manel Cape straight to the Wolves there because he was risen champion. So, I ain't really too fussed, but, they've got to go through my management, innit? But if you ask me, bring whoever.
If you had it your way, when do you want to make your debut? Like, do you want to try to get one in before the end of the year, or are you thinking maybe early 2022 at this point?
Well, if it's going to be the end of the year, it's going to realistically needs to be like December 18th for the last one of the year. And I could do with knowing pretty soon, really. Obviously, yourself, I need a proper camp if I'm going to make the weight, you get me? So, December 18th, but I need to know pretty soon. Otherwise, I'm saying February times. But, bring whoever they want to bring. And I'm a company man. I'll fight whoever Dana wants me to fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, whoever he wants, let's bring it.
So if you had your druthers, if you had a choice, it seems like Francisco Figueiredo is kind of at the top of your list. You think that makes the most sense?
Yeah, he makes sense to me because I like that he's got a name behind him and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And he's unranked, so it's not like, he's on the same sort of, place in the UFC I'm on, just an unranked fighter. So that makes sense. There's other guys in the division that make sense. You know what I mean? So, but I think he's probably the biggest named unranked fighter, as in everyone knows him because of his brother. So it's just like, smash him up for no problem.
Do you think Deiveson could beat Moreno in this third fight or no?
Deiveson's a great fighter. Moreno's a great fighter, but I don't see it. I think Moreno's going to take it again. But Figueiredo can catch him, but I highly doubt it. They're two great fighters, but I highly doubt it.
And you feel like obviously you stack up with these 125ers, you're ready for all of them at this point. But is there one guy in this division? I mean, it's not like trash talk or anything like that, but is there one guy in this division at this point that you're just like, I just want to fight this guy? Like, it would be a lot of fun. His style, my style, getting us together in that octagon. It's just going to be a crazy fight. Is there somebody that sort of sticks out to you that hopefully someday you get in there and mix it up with them?
Obviously, you'd always say you want to fight the champ, but one guy who I really want to fight even right now is probably Figueiredo, older Figueiredo, bigger one, the former champion, Figueiredo. That's who I want. But you know what I'm saying? It's all going to come. It's all going to come pretty soon.
Is there a reason why it's him over everybody else, or just a good test for you?
When he was the champion and everyone was scared of him, like in a way, like he had this fear behind him. I remember watching him and thinking, I'm going to fucking smash you up. You know what I mean? And the way Moreno beat him the last fight was the way I was looking at him thinking, this is the way you to beat this guy, you get me? Like, I was thinking that before, and before they even fought, and he beat him that way. So, it's just that I've been watching these guys and I've been, already thinking of, planning on how I'm going to smash this guy. You know what I mean? I did that before, but before I was the EFC champion, I was studying Zulu boy when I was an amateur and he was a world champion. Studying how I'm going to beat him. And I've been doing that with Figueiredo. The last 3 or 4 years, you know what I mean? Before that, it was Mighty Mouse and stuff. Yeah, but I just like that matchup. I like that matchup. I don't think it's that far away. I think 2 years and I'll be the champion. You know what I mean? Especially if they're I don't like Jake, let's fast track him, then just going to get me there quicker. But, I don't know. There's no reason why the matchmakers wouldn't like me, because I haven't even spoke to them, apart from when I come out the cage and I was like, shook the hand and whatever. So I've never spoke to them. I don't think they dislike me. I just think, obviously I miss weight and they don't like people to miss weight and get signed, which is fair enough. Know what I mean? I don't see how anyone could be, upset with me over the decision Dana made. You know what I mean? It's not on me, so I haven't really done anything wrong towards them. You know what I mean? My backstage issues, they're basically resolved. You know what I mean? So there you go. That's all I can say about that.
Couple last quick things. First of all, a video surfaced, and I think Dana commented on it too. It was you making a birthday wish, and your wish was to make it to the UFC. And now that you're here, going back and watching that video and just taking a look at that wish and everything, not a lot of kids like at that age are going to say they want to be firefighters and astronauts and all this, doctors or whatever. You're like, I want to be in the UFC. I wish to be in the UFC essentially. And now that you're here, how crazy is it for you to go back and see that video now?
It's crazy. It's crazy. It's like everything, like, when these people say, oh, fighting's been my life, fighting's been my life. Most of them hasn't been. Fighting's been my life forever. Before I even started training, I wanted to be a UFC fighter and a UFC champion. That's before I even stepped foot in a gym. They used to ask you at school, a very young age, what do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be a UFC fighter. I want to be a UFC champion. These are the things I used to say. I didn't even step foot in a gym. I didn't even know how to throw a jab. And then, you know what I mean? Like, I couldn't even throw a punch and I wanted to be a UFC fighter. A young kid dreaming of it. One day I'm going to get there. One day I'm going to do that. one day. So all I've ever dreamed of is to achieve half of the dream, which is half of the dream is to get to the UFC. The other half is to be the champion. You know what I mean? To achieve that, it's a big thing, but it feels like it was meant to be. I was meant to happen. Obviously, I didn't expect it to happen in the situation it happened in. But it's made it even better. It's made it feel even better that I've got in off these sort of circumstances. It's made it feel like even better. But I knew this was going to happen. It's been my dream my whole entire life since I've basically come out of the womb, mate. It's been my whole dream, my whole life's work. This has been.
What about it as a young kid made you think like you want? This is before you, like you said, before you could even throw a jab, before you stepped in the gym, before you could throw a punch. You were dreaming of being a UFC fighter. Like, what about it made you want to become part of it?
To be honest, I don't really know. As in, like, I used to watch it on the telly with like my dad. I also used to like watch the boxing and whatever fighting was on the telly. Even back then, young kid wrestling and everything. And I was just more entertained with the MMA. I used to love the MMA. I used to, love watching it. And then I'd have my friends. I'd have some friends over there saying we shouldn't really have been watching it. It was too young to watch. But we'd go around the house and we'd watch the fighting. And then we'd go in the garden and just grapple each other and try armbar each other and shit, just make it up on the spot. You know what I mean? And then I used to go to school and I used to just be in fights all the while. I was crap at everything. I couldn't kick a ball. I couldn't throw a ball. I couldn't listen in class. But I'll tell you one thing I was good at, and that was fighting. I was good at fighting when I was at school. I was just naturally good at it. And then also, as a young kid, you get into fights with kids in the older years or whatever, and maybe they used to beat me, but they wouldn't want to fight me the next day. I'd always and I was very poor at communicating with people, and none of the girls wanted to talk to me or anything, but everyone wanted to talk to me after a fight. So I felt wanted in my life after something for the first time. You know what I mean? So that I was drawn to fighting because I was good at it. And I liked to watch it, and I was good at it. I think whatever you're good at in life, you like it. If you're crap at something, you don't like it. Like I'm rubbish at football, or what Americans would call soccer. So I hate it. I hate it. I can't watch it. Can't talk about it. I don't know nothing about it because I'm not good at it. But fighting, I'm good at it, and I know about it because I wanted to know about it because I was good at it, and I was naturally good at it. And it's just inbred into me because my family are fighters. A lot of my family are fighters, so I think it runs through my blood. It's in my DNA. I can't help it. I can't help but be a fighter because it's in me. Even if, just say for instance, even if I didn't want to be one, I couldn't help but be one because it's in my blood. It's in my DNA. I can't help it. That's what I was born to do.
That is an incredible answer, Jake. Last thing from me. Obviously this signing, I'm trying to think of other Contender Series signings that got this much attention. Maybe the Greg Hardy signing, but you're right up there with his. I mean, Greg's signing was met with things in a much different fashion than yours. But for the people who support this signing, for the people who don't support this signing, for the matchmakers who are upset about it, for the fans who talk crap about it, what do you want to say to everybody as you prepare for your UFC debut, probably sometime early 2022?
I haven't really got much to say to anyone other than you can love me or hate me. But to be honest, I've been loved and hated my whole entire life. I'm like Marmite. I don't know if you know what that is. I don't know if that's a UK thing. Marmite, basically, people either like that or they hate it. You know what I mean? And that's what I've been like my whole entire life. When I was growing up as a kid, I just think I'm a hard geezer to get along with. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people dislike me, but a lot of people really like me. The guys who know me really like me. The people who dislike me, but at the end of the day, I don't care because I'm coming in here. All I've got planned is to come in here and be the champion. I don't care if you like me or dislike me. But at the end of the day, you're going to tune in at the end of the day. So what do I care? All I want to say, though, is thanks for all the support and thanks for all the hate. It strives you on at the end of the day. I mean, I was a young kid at school and the teacher said to me, you'll never amount to nothing in your life. You'll never be in the UFC and all this. He told me that, yeah, when I was a young kid. And I can still remember it today. Things like that spur you on. People are just spurring me on. They're just helping me along. They're just helping me push. They're helping me say, all right, then, I don't want to go for that 4 a.m. run. But you know what? I'm going to go for that 4 a.m. run because you're talking shit that I'm not going to do anything and I'm not going to be anything. You know what? I'm going to get up and do that run because you've motivated me. I would have done it anyway, but I'm just saying. You know what I mean? So thanks to everyone. And at the end of the day, the OG, the real OG of the fight game, Dana White, the real original gangster, he's better than anyone, any promoter, better than any promoter, like even including Don King or anyone you want to mention. He's better than all of them. Yeah, he knows when he sees a star, and he said he sees a star, and I know I am. But when the OG says that, you're like, yes, I know. You know what I mean? And he knows, and he made the right decision. I'm going to prove he made the right decision.
Well said. Do you actually have teachers tell you you're not going to be anything? Like you're never going to be a UFC fighter? You had teachers actually say this to you?
Yeah. I had teachers say this to me when I was at school. He was a deputy head teacher. I seen him a couple of years ago. Actually, I bumped into him a couple of years ago, but he was all right. But like, it's water under the bridge. I don't care what he said. It spurred me on, but I had teachers say that to me, but I was like, a bad kid at school, didn't want to listen because I thought I don't need to listen to this. I'm going to be champion of the world. I'm going to be in the UFC one day. And, when someone says, don't put all your eggs in one basket, I put every egg in the world in that one basket. Like, there's no backup plan for Jake Hadley. There's no, I've got a degree in this or I've got a, mate, it's either fighting and be world champion or be broke and in the gutter. That's the only dip for me because I've put everything into this, everything. I'm not telling any young kids that's the smart thing to do. That's just the way I did it, you know what I mean? And I'm deadly serious about this game and I'm willing to die to be champion of the world in the UFC because if I don't achieve that, my life has been a waste of time. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm all in, and yeah. I was never expected to do anything with my life. Even when I was fighting in the MMA and stuff, there was other people who were expected to do better than me, but I've overtook all of them. So yeah, there you go.
Jake, congratulations on the win. Congratulations on the contract. No matter how you got there, you got the contract. Excited to see you make your debut. This division just got a little bit of a boost. In my opinion, I think the flyweight division is vastly underrated as it is. And I think you're a tremendous addition to it. So congratulations on everything. Heal up, rest up, get ready for that octagon debut, because like you said, love you or hate you, everyone's going to be watching. So I appreciate the time and all the best to you for the holidays and for the rest of the year, my man.
Yeah, thank you for that. Thanks for the interview. Shout out to all the people supporting me. Yep, and I'll be back soon, real soon. Thank you.